2026 and the link is feeling cold. Stories of a super runner getting kinda old. Jalen under fire, say his vision's getting tight. Calling them uncoachable every single night. AJ in the tray, got me in my field. Mr. Hollywood is the brownest on the field. Man, he ain't calling plays, I be searching for the spark. Eagles flying solo, hunting shadows in the dark. Rabo and Rossini trying to launch a master plan. Ever since the photos got you sitting with the fans. Draft day approaching, how we sitting on this perch. Gotta fill some holes, so you know he's on the search. 10 toes down with the Eagles on the scene. Watching out for Cap, cause your boy is bleeding green. Searching through the trending topics, info moving slow. Pro fan talk, always keep you in the know. Pro fan talk. Hit the bell, that's law. Break it down from the film to the box score raw. Pro fan talk. Where the real ones bar. From the birds to the league, we gon' cover it all. Pro fan talk. Hit the bell, that's law. Break it down from the film to the box score raw. Pro fan talk. Where the real ones bar. From the birds to the league, we gon' cover it all. Pro fan talk.
What's going on, good folks? What is going on? Happy Monday to you. It is AJ Day. We have reached finality. We have reached finality with the AJ Brown situation. I didn't want to see him go, but I understand he had to go. If you are somewhere that you don't want to be, try to find yourself somewhere else. That's how I feel about it. AJ Brown, thank you for your contribution to our championship. And I wish you well until you come back to Philly or we are in New England. And that's how I feel about it. We knew it was coming. I thought it would be, I was not aware that the NFL business day ended at 4 p.m. So I thought it would be like 12:01 tomorrow morning. But as soon as the 4 o'clock hit, and that Monday, the NFL day was done, you officially are in the second day, and the things happened very quickly. And then on top of all of that, you had folks trying to steal our thunder. Damn, Rams and the Cleveland Browns sneaking in there trying to make headlines with big name moves and Myles Garrett, but not for nothing, boy, did not have that on my bingo card whatsoever. Did not see that one coming at all. And I'm sure Jared Verse is not happy. I'm sure he is not happy. Jared Verse just went from Knots Landing to good times. If you know, you know. Oh my God. Hold on, let me see. I'm looking awfully red, but I don't want to get too much into this. I'll deal with it. My camera's got me looking very dark and reddish, and I don't know why. But I think it's because I got this backlight on and it's messing with my fill light right here. But in any case, let me try this one to see if this helps. That's a little bit. So yeah, man, it's they try to steal our thunder, and but it don't matter. Our deal is done. We good to go, and all of the speculation, the innuendo, Diana Rossini, sources close to the situation, sources close to AJ Brown's camp, sources close to the Eagles, Adam Schefter sources, Mike Pelissero sources, Ian Rappaport sources, Colin Cowherd sources, everybody's sources. You had some right, you had some wrong, but at the end of the day, sometimes the most obvious solution is the answer. Everybody in Philadelphia crashed out because they saw a Chargers plane. I don't know what that meant. Were they close to making a deal? Don't know. Don't care. Because guess what? AJ Brown is in New England. So that's the only thing that matters now. Not our problem anymore. So it is what it is, man. So, but I told y'all this day would come very quickly. And before you know it, we done went through rookie camp, We done went through OTAs, and we are here. We are already in June. We are halfway through the year. Just started June. That means next month is July. That's my birthday month. And it's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. We're moving very, very quickly. And we are already here. So let me know, man. How y'all feeling, man? I see Chris 3K first out the limo. I see my man Carlos. Carlos, I got them ice cream Snickers at the ready, bro. Art, I see you, man. What's going on? What's going on? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. We couldn't even get what they got for Waddle. Let me be honest with you. I ain't even worried about that, to be honest with you. Um, we got a first round pick. To me, that's the only thing that matters. A third, what was that? A Waddle they got a third for Waddle. We got a fifth for 2027, I believe. I'm like, I ain't gonna sweat off of that. I can't, because honestly, when you look at things the way things go, um, how many third round picks pan out? You know what I mean? In my opinion, third and a fifth, you got the same chance of. It all depends on where you go. That's the long and short of it. One person, uh, might make it to the end of their 4-year contract. Somebody else might not. But I'm the difference between a third and a fifth. I'm not really concerned about that at all. Not at all. Um, I'm trying to see the thing with the 2027 fifth round pick. I'm good with that, man. I'm good with that. And also don't forget, man, all of this could change at the drop of a hat. And when I say that, what I mean is you got to think of long term, right? Howie's playing chess, not checkers. So I guarantee you, this year, this football year, there is going to be some quarterback that steps out, lights it up, and everybody's going to be looking at this kid, and this kid is going to be a sophomore or a junior, which means everybody's going to be looking towards 28. And where that comes into play is, I guarantee you there's going to be people looking. There might be a freshman that starts this year that might be freshman of the year, or he just outplays everybody. And you're like, okay, when is this kid coming out? So the chances of 2028 being a good draft for quarterback, receiver, skill position, offensive line, cornerback, linebacker, D tackle, whatever you're looking for, there is a better chance that 2028 has some very nice athletes coming out. I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is Howie Roseman is cooking the meal. That's what I know. And he ain't missed too many times. So I look at it from this standpoint. Do I think we are still going to have a first round pick in 2028? No, I do not. I think that pick will be traded, and that one pick might turn into 5 or 6 other picks the way Howie Roseman works. And I'm okay with that. He might turn that into more picks next year. And I'm good with that. So we don't know what they're looking for. We don't know what the long-term solution is. But I'm not going to gripe over the difference between a fifth round and a fifth round and a third round. I could care less. We got the first round. The first round is the real bargaining chip, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm good with that. Maybe Howie already has a third round somewhere that he could trade for some. Like I said, Howie's playing chess. And when he comes across somebody else playing chess, he's playing 4D chess. He goes next generation on you, man. And I trust him. He's still the Wizard of Philly. And I know he's going to do amazing things with the draft and these picks that he's got. And he's going to end up doing some stuff that ain't nobody thinking about, because that's what he always does. So I'm good with that, man. I'm not concerned about that in the least. Not in the least, man. With the dirt coming out about the Reddick trade and what BJ said, now makes sense. Um, yeah, I'm trying to be careful of that because like I'm seeing that, here's what I gotta ask myself: Is juicy? But if Adam Schefter would have said that, if Ian Rappaport would have said that, we would have called them all kind of names. We'd have called them all kind of liars. We'd have been like, "Who's your sources? This is nonsense." So, at this point, I don't care. I'm so tired of trying to worry about what grown folks is doing in grown folks' business. At this point, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can't. The last thing you want is AJ Brown going up to the New England Patriots, and he got an issue with massage therapists. Well, he going to the right place. That's for damn sure. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I can't. It is what it is, man. I'm like, if at the very least, that's not a good look. What else you want me to say? It's all juicy material and juicy um, gossip, TMZ type stuff. Yeah, although, isn't it funny how TMZ is like the Kleenex of tabloid news, but TMZ reports better news than CBS, ABC, and NBC these days. At some point in time, within the last 10 years, TMZ switched from being BS to being like real news and getting facts and stuff like that. You're like, damn. If you look up and you're like, when did that switch happen? So, but ultimately, man, it is what it is. I don't know what to say with it. I don't know who that person is that wrote that story. I don't know who that. I gotta be. You got to be real careful when people say, "I spoke to a source." Like, why? Why should I believe this person that wrote that article? Tiff, I saw the article that you sent me. Um, but why should I? Like, who is this person? What's their history? What's their track record? And to me, regardless of what it is, um, I don't ever remember reading anything from this person before. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember that. So why all of a sudden now should I believe them if they coming out with something salacious? So I'm just cautious with stuff like that, especially everybody getting got these days. I don't know if y'all saw, for those of you that follow the WNBA, did you see what happened to Skip Bayless after all of the brouhaha with Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White blowing up on the bench during the game? There was a bunch of these AI reports that Stephanie White was fired and Skip Bayless bid on one. And it's like, come on, dog. You got to do better than that. But let me see. If you think this team is in trouble because of one player, you don't need to call yourself a fan of the Eagles. Go back to whatever loser team you abandoned. Yeah, man. I'm not worried about it. I think we will lose some production, but we might get lucky. We might get lucky. Is anybody, and I'm being realistic, is anybody looking at Dontavian Wicks as a 1,000-yard receiver? Is anybody looking at Makai Lemon as rookie of the year? We don't know yet. We don't know what we have yet. I would like to think that the combination of those two guys will be just as good, or the combination of those two will be just as productive, if not more, than A.J. Brown. Meaning, if A.J. Brown had 1,500 yards receiving, then the combination of Makai Lemon and Dontavian Wicks should have at least anywhere between 12 to 1,500 yards. Those two having a combination, anything below 1,000 yards is a failure in my book. Anything above 1,000 yards, I can live with that. If you above 1,500 yards and you match it or exceed whatever AJ's production total was for the year, if you match or exceed that, we good with that combination. It would be nice if one person hit it, but I'm looking at the fact of both of those two get to together. I'm lumping them as one person because we already know what we're going to get from Devontae Smith. We know what we're going to get from um, Dallas Goedert. We know what we're going to get from Saquon Barkley. And we know pretty much what we're going to get from Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a little bit of an unknown because we ain't seen Mannion's stuff yet. So that's kind of a solvent for X as well. But we got a track record with Jalen Hurts. So the combination of all of those, we still got some pretty good weapons. And anytime you got an offense and you got a three-headed monster, let alone four, I think we're in good shape. I think Mekhi Lemon might be as advertised, but again, I want to wait. I haven't seen what Mannion's going to do with the situation, so we have to wait. It is what it is. Mr. Always Open is at it. 1K Always Open is closed in Philly. They closed it in Philly. Oh my God. Yeah, yo, Jen, you already know we have a scheduled, if I'm not mistaken, we have a scheduled joint practice with the Patriots. Let me make sure this. We have a scheduled joint practice. Eagles joint practice 2026. New England Patriots. Joint practices are expected to take place mid to late August, leading up to the Eagles' preseason game against the Patriots scheduled for August 22nd. So, those joint practices are going to be the biggest event in the preseason. Right there. So, I'm all for it. So, I am all for it. Y'all ready for Jalen's MVP season? Ooh, like the way you think, Chris. Like the way you think, man. Yeah, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. Nah, I don't mind that. I don't mind. Who's my new subscriber? Yo, I gotta move my graphics, man. How my graphics get all the way in the back? What's going on here? Alerts. There we go. Gotta move that up front. Alerts. There we go. Better. Whoever that was, thank you. Thank you for the sub. I think it's a lot riding on Mannion, and I just think Mannion is a competent, smart dude. And I think one of the things we're going to learn this year, regardless of what the success is of the offense, I don't think the offense will be a failure. I just don't think that we're going to struggle like that. I could be wrong. I just don't think that's going to happen. But I do think that we are going to watch Sean Mannion work. And we are going to think, and we're going to be like, what the hell was we doing with Patullo? And not afraid, but what might happen is we might be looking at Sean Mannion, and then we're going to think like, what was we doing with Patullo? And which is going to cause everybody to look at Sirianni like, bro, what was you thinking? Like, what were you doing over there? You know what I mean? So I just think Sean Mannion is competent enough to make some things happen. And again, y'all know my reason for the support of Sean Mannion. I think because he speaks the language with Jalen Hurts much better than anybody else, maybe with the exception of Doug Peterson, I think, or in Kellen Moore, obviously. But I think we're in a good, we're just in a good spot. People forget. I forget sometimes Kellen Moore was a quarterback in the league. I think wasn't he a quarterback for Dallas for a while. Another career backup. I don't think he had many starts as a QB in the league, but he knows. You learn a lot holding that clipboard, man. You learn a lot. So Yeah, Panda, everybody heard that story. I don't know who the dude was that wrote the article though. And again, why is his information sound all of a sudden? How come we don't come at him like, well, who is your sources? Who are you talking to? Like, that information hasn't been vetted yet. You know what I'm saying? And it's too these days, man, you gotta really be careful. And I was just thinking about this the other day. I was talking to my grandkids about this. Um, the the continued evolution of AI and what they can do with stuff like that. It's more than just uh, making realistic video clips and stuff like that. You can do voice prints and clone voices and all that kind of stuff. Um, and to the untrained eye, you can easily be fooled. You can easily be fooled because the more we go along in this social media landscape, the the less people want to vet information, the less they want to do homework because people have gotten so lazy and fat on the onslaught of constant information, constant trending topics and stuff like that. Nobody bothers to vet the information anymore. Nobody does that. Everybody here grew up in a family where there was always somebody in your family. If they told you something, your mom or dad would be like, "Man, don't believe that bullshit. Come on, dog. Nah, don't do that." Everybody has somebody like that. So there's no checks and balances no more. Everybody can just say what they want to say with impunity. They can accuse, they can make up facts, all of that kind of stuff. So we already see what they doing like with politics and stuff like that, and all of the stuff that they make up there. So um, we just have to be careful. And I know it's hard to say now, but like you got to be vigilant to make sure the stuff that you're talking about is spot on and not some BS, not some AI, not some catfish type stuff and just made up. That again, that's how Skip Bayless got. He ought to be embarrassed. He ought to be embarrassed. So um I saw it, I read the story, but I'm like, man, this is yeah, whatever. The only thing I'll say is if it let's just hypothetically, let's just say it is true. The only thing I'm saying is that's just not a good look with AJ Brown. Period. Not a good look. Whatever he was doing, I know he just got married, but he wasn't married. Still not a good look, but it is what it is. So Hertz took AJ girl for a test drive. Nah, man. I heard it wasn't Jay. Yeah, see, I don't. And let me be honest with you, I hadn't heard anything like that until today. I had heard anything about that. You know what I mean? Sometimes I get worried about Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts is so squeaky clean that people just like itching for something bad to happen to him. Like they just want to throw crap on him. So when you get people like that are never in the wrong, never in the clubs, no baby mamas, none of that stuff. People, there's always a contingency of people that are just waiting for somebody to slip up, just so they can um, be happy that somebody else is doing bad too. Because usually those are the people that you know can't get right, and they want somebody to be miserable with them. So yeah, I'm kind of staying away from the tabloid stuff because ain't no way they're gonna be able to prove none of that stuff. And ultimately, AJ gone. He gone. And I'm wondering, it's always funny to me, how come all of a sudden now you got this whole long list of stuff on a paper? Where was that when everything was going down? Where was it at then? How come? Like, did somebody do investigative work just for that? You know what I mean? So I don't know. that all of a sudden that information just didn't just appear. If it's true, somebody had to gather that information, and how long were they sitting on it? I don't know. I don't know, but it's too much other stuff. The news cycles are too fast. There's going to be more news that comes out on something else later, and then you're going to forget all about that. So hell, people still waiting for the Vrabel and Rossini other shoe to drop. So who knows, man? I'm not going to put too much effort into it. I'm going to keep that energy somewhere. It was AJ's girls first, then Reddick hit. That's why he was traded apparently. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. All I know is with Hassan Reddick, keep your homeboys at home. Hassan Reddick was right from here. So, Lester Johnson, what it do? Appreciate you. Everybody, Jen laughing at my not slandering the good times. If you know, you know. If you from the 70s and 80s, you know what I'm talking about. We traded a first and the third for AJ and got a first and fifth for him. Yeah, I'm not worried about that, man. I'm not worried about that. Yeah, little Griffith. My mom's birthday is on June 6th, so gotta find something to send my mom. So do y'all really believe that we can match the production of AJ Brown? Dontavian Wicks wants to be that guy. I know Mekhi Lemon does. We got a good cadre of receivers. So I'm expecting Jalen Hurts to really improve, and I'm expecting Sean Mannion to make things simple so he can improve. One of the things I did not like about Kevin Patullo, it always seemed that we made things very complicated, and it didn't have to be complicated. And somebody like Sean Mannion understands that. You don't want to complicate your offense. Keep it simple. Take what they give you. Stowers and Dallas Goedert, that's a mismatch waiting to happen. Mekhi Lemon, mismatch waiting to happen. If Mekhi Lemon is in the slot, guarded by a linebacker, that should be an automatic. Should be. But we got to see how everything works out. So our Super Bowl window is still wide open. Wide open. Because now we still have a Super Bowl defense. Our defense has gotten better than from last year. Better. We got guys healthy again. We had a good draft. We got some good vets. I'm already convinced now, and it can kind of go either way. Because I know he got an attitude when he on the field, but man, that damn Rick Woolen, woof. That Rick Woolen, all 6'4" and 4.29. Do you understand how fast you are if you run it under 4.3 and you 6'4"? You going up dunking with two hands and coming down with the ball. That's all you got to do. The only thing I want to see is I really want to see him in some one-on-one drills, like full speed, because a lot of times tall people do not have fast hips. Sometimes. So I really want to see what he's got as far as running with guys. Obviously, he's got the speed. Obviously, he's got the size and the wingspan and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of times, if you're playing too high and you get that receiver that come down and can get that low center of gravity and change direction, open up their hips, plant on that outside foot, and come back to the ball or do a double move and go out and up, or whatever the situation is. How can he react to that? What's his skill? What's his superpower when it comes to covering receivers in the league? We already know he got the size. We already know he got the speed. But so did Keely Ringo. So did he. So we'll see what they're gonna do with that. We will see. What is I? You know what? I had Seals on when I started the show, but I was watching the replay, but I had it muted. Um, so I don't know what he said. Per Jeff McClain, the Rams backed out of trading for AJ because they didn't like what they saw in his medical records about his knee. Really? I didn't see that. Didn't see that. Not our problem anymore. So I'm, not our problem anymore. Yeah, everybody, they jumping on that train with that. But I'm gonna have to read that again. I know Tiff sent it. Let me see if I can get that up. I thought I had it. I had it, then I didn't have it. So, eh, but everybody talking about it. So I don't know who this person is and how they got the information, man. But I don't know. But it ain't our problem no more. Not our problem. Let them be somebody else's problem. How about that? Oh my god. Is that the luxury apartment that AJ Brown got in New England? It sits above a massage parlor. Let me stop playing. Let me stop playing. Oh my god. So I mean the information, excuse me, the information is out there now. So somebody's gonna do their homework and somebody's gonna try to figure it out. And somebody's gonna try to get to the bottom of it. And it'll either be a bad look on AJ or it'll be a nothing burger. So whew. Yeah, see, y'all putting a little extra spin on stuff. Y'all doing the most, like my twin sister says. Y'all doing too much. Thinking too much. Thinking too much. But that's the way these news cycle goes these days. That's the way it goes. Um I tell people all the time, man. Nowadays, it's crazy. I would be nervous as hell if I was a pro player trying to date in this landscape. Hell no. Hell no. I would be one of them dudes over in England or somewhere where they don't watch pro football or pro sports. I would be over somewhere where nobody had any idea who I was over there in Germany or somewhere. It's because people are crazy. People are stupid, and it's you got too many people that take that housewife's life seriously, and that's all they want to do, and they promote that type of stuff. They promote it. So so Jason, or no, Nad 2.0, that's not necessarily true, bro. That is not necessarily true. Because when I was now, what I will say is, it's probably a lot of people in the league dibbling dabbling, um, but there's just as big contingency of people that don't, because people are just not like that. The people that do that have been doing it, but there's a lot of people that don't roll like that. So, um, but I mean, that's true. That is true. But you got I say this all the time. You don't deal with people, you deal with personality. And some people, they ain't got no time for that. They not. That's not their thing. Just like you got some people who are, and you got some people who aren't. It all depends on the personalities. Now you can get people that get caught up in the lifestyle, or they get caught up in the lemmings of just doing everything that everybody else does, just because. And now you got this new group of people that's doing everything just to be on social media. There's people that'll go out and fake it on dates just so they can put content on social media. They do that kind of stuff for real. It's scandalous out here, man. Scandalous out here. AJ Brown will be missed, but if he does the same thing in New England, then he will be looked at differently. That's a good question, man. Because what kind of year is he gonna have next year? What kind of year is he gonna have? We're gonna see. We're gonna learn today. So, Chris, I will open up the mic, bro. I will drop the link. I will drop the link. And if you haven't already, smash the like button. We got 24 people on X, on my Twitter folks, and we got 76 people on YouTube, and of course, StreamYard and Facebook don't work. So it is what it is. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. What'd you say, man? What you said? I had an ex that stole nearly 10K from me, and she was messing with the others behind my back. Cheaters are everywhere. Yeah, man. But again, you don't deal with people, you deal with personalities. That person, whoever that was, that they probably been doing that for a while. Because that's a thief. Screw the relationship. That's a damn thief. So I'm gonna show up at the NBA All-Star weekend with their ass cheeks hanging out, have husbands and boyfriends back home, hungry. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the story. Tell you the story. Uh, I was at the link. I was sitting in the broadcast booth. It was me. I wish I could remember this dude's name. He used to play for the Phantoms. It was me and him. So when they have Monday Night Football, and you got Collinsworth and Troy Aikman or whoever. This time it was Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. So when they're in the broadcast booth, usually there is a fake backdrop with the Fox logo on it or whatever. But they set that up. So where they had him, the suite that they had him in, they had a big canvas, like fake wall. Like had the big Fox logo on it. The thing was like 7-8 feet tall. Just so when they pan back with the camera, you couldn't see the top of it. So it had to be tall. So behind that fake wall was probably around 4 feet of space. Before that was like, it was in a suite. So, because that's how you get the noise. The windows are open. So it's open air. But it's just far enough to where fans can't, yell stuff in the window and disrupt. So we had about 4 feet of space behind that curtain. It was me, this dude that played for the Phantoms. And we just sat there and watched the game, had a great time. But the story starts when we were leaving. We're getting out of there, and we find ourselves, or at least I find myself, on the elevator with Troy Aikman. And he was nice, cordial. We talked about the game a little bit, a little small talk and everything. But we're in one of the areas. We are waiting for the elevator. So we are in a kind of like a secluded area because they coming from the broadcast. So you want them in a situation where they don't have to interact with too many of the crowds, because that can be bad. But we are waiting for an elevator. We got off one elevator and we're waiting for another elevator to take us to the ground floor. It was me, the dude from the Phantoms, Troy Aikman, Joe Buck, and it was somebody else. I can't remember who it was. But in any case, these two, I'm assuming they had to be wives or girlfriends, the wags. Um, One of them had a stroller, and I believe it was three women. Two of them had kids. One of them had a stroller. Um, and I'm trying to remember if I'm missing anything, but ultimately, it threw me for a loop because this woman clearly married, pushing a baby. When I tell you she did everything other than throw her panties at Troy Aikman. When I tell you, when you talk about swooning and like, I guess she saw his aura or whatever. Like it was so obvious and embarrassing. It was that level. And I was like, I only thought people did that shit in the movies. Like, no, this is like real life. And she was what's that little meme on the internet? She was ready to risk it all. Absolutely, absolutely. And it was, you could tell, like, oh, she going for her. She shooting her shot. She didn't care. She did not care. She said, I'm shooting my shot. And that's exactly what she did. Now she looked like a fool in the process, but clearly she wasn't caring about that. If you've seen, I got a great example. If you've seen the movie Major League, if you've seen that movie Major League, when old boy uh ended up sleeping with his teammate's wife, but he didn't know it was his wife because she was mad because she caught him cheating. It was crazy, but it was kind of like that, like throwing themselves at people, and it's like, damn, I, I thought that was something you only saw on television, but like, listen, that it is for real. It is for real. People act like that for real. People will take their shot to see if they can get paid. Because what's the worst that's gonna happen? Nothing. And they already living in that. So they will take their shot and do whatever they got to do, disrupt, start a fire, start a fight, whatever the situation is. They will do whatever they think they got to do to get paid. Period. So you just got to be super duper careful. I'm surprised. I keep saying this, and maybe Meta, if you want to sponsor me, go ahead and do this. So when this video plays, go ahead and drop a commercial about Meta right here. You can do that. But I don't understand why Meta doesn't hook up with somebody from the NBA, somebody from the NFL, somebody from the NHL, and just do a whole thing of them at the club with their glasses on. Because I just saw the thing with Kendrick Perkins. He got into it coaching his kids, and the people want to test him. And I'm like, man, you need to have somebody filming your stuff from start to finish, from the time you get out of the car to the time you walk back out that gym. And it could have ended badly for him, very bad. But he was on top of his game. He didn't jump into the fray. Was trying to keep his boys separate. And then the coach come over there dropping bombs and cursing and all of it. It was unnecessary. And Kendrick Perkins ain't gonna back down, so that even made it worse. But I'll say all that to say, you never know what somebody gonna do. You never know what somebody gonna do when they're trying to get money like that. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But they do it. Happens all the time. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Have y'all hit that subscribe button yet? Why haven't you hit that subscribe button? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You heard what I said. All right, I just dropped the link. We got Barbie dolls married to ogres for a pink Tesla and a $300,000 house. You got some people like that. Yes, you are absolutely right. You got some people that don't care, and they just trying to get paid. So the link is dropped. That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. New member of the squad, y'all. Jason and the 18. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Holy Green, you been Mr. Taters. What's good with you? What's good with you? Keep them coming. Keep them coming. That's what I like to see. I want to see my team grow. I want to see my Marco Garcia. Let's go. Let's go. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you. Zach Walsh, 6032. Appreciate you, my guy. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. That's what I'm talking about, man. We grinding. Grinding and growing. Grinding and growing. That's what we do. That's what we doing. So, I'm so glad to get this stuff done, man. Now we have officially turned the page. The Eagles can turn the page. That's what I like. We can turn the page. So now we can get on with the getting on until we go to joint practice. So AJ finally free. Yeah. Guess what, man? The grass might be greener on the other side, but it still got to be mowed. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Rossini did her job. Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of Rossini, man, just wanted y'all to know I was just a tad bit late today because I was knee deep into redoing my intro. I had to redo the intro, had to redo some of the lyrics to make it, after everything that's done went down. I wanted to keep the same song but redo the lyrics. And I tell you what, man, AI be acting like a biatch sometimes because it is not easy. It's not easy once you create something and you want to go back and change it and maybe add lyrics or take something out. That's difficult. That's a pain in the butt. But I'm gonna do it because you know how I am. I want my stuff to look tight. So I got it. I'm almost done with it. Let me just say it like that. So if I'm lucky, uh, you guys will see it on Wednesday. So working on some new stuff, man. I'm having fun. I found my lens. I found my camera lens. So I'm gonna be trying some different effects on my like I got a one of the things on my phone. Where did it go? I got one of these cases on my phone. I forgot I even had this. But I put I got the little like the camera lenses that you can do all of the effects and stuff like you would a real lens. So I gotta start playing with that. But yeah, you know what? That's one of the things I want to talk about Rossini because y'all had mentioned, y'all mentioned earlier, we only got a first and a fifth. Did she drive the price down? When we say she did her job, what was her job? Did she drive the price down? Didn't really think about that. And it's like, damn, she was the first one reporting on all this stuff. Everybody else is interested, and I'll remember who's all of them teams that was interested in the beginning, and then it turns out it was only one or two teams that was serious about trying to acquire him. There's more than that, but you get what I'm saying. So um, I don't know. I know we ain't got to worry about her getting information because she ain't with old boy no more, Mike Vrabel. But you never know how that's going to end. You never know. That's going to be all kind of messed up in the future. Half is shit, Your Honor. I'm with you, Ty. We got it first. I'm good. I'm good. Sometimes it's harder to tell between the third round pick and the fifth round pick. It's hard to tell because there's plenty of fifth rounders that probably should have been third rounders or even second rounders. So it is what it is. That's her baby daddy. You think that's her baby daddy? That's where we are with it. Oh my gosh. We always dealing with that stuff. Carlos, I saw you pop in for a hot second. You must be on your phone and your signal must not be up to snuff. What did y'all think about Cleveland though? Myles Garrett, Jarrett Verse, didn't see that coming. Didn't see that coming. So I know LA won that trade, but Cleveland will be okay. Cleveland gonna have a decent squad this year. If they let Shador start and he doesn't get stupid, he's gonna have a good chart. OBJ back to the Giants. I saw that. Yep. We didn't mention the comp picks. You're right. And the compensatory picks are going to be about how good the trade guy gets. If he balls out and goes to the Pro Bowl, we win. You would have kept Verse. I'm curious as to why Verse is very good and he's very young. So I don't understand why they wanted to get rid of him, or unless somebody else in the organization like Myles Garrett. So, dang, Carlos, what happened, man? Every time I see you, then you pop out, bro. I was about to bring you in, and you left. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Verse. Did they not like him up there? Because why the hell did they send him to Cleveland? So we'll see. Hell, we even got the Browns, the GM's brother, his twin brothers, working for us, so we good. F them picks. I hear you. It bees like that sometimes. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Los. I'm a little laggy too. There is definitely a delay with my OBS and my live window, and I am a bit choppy. So I feel you. I don't know. This probably might be one of them days where just a lot of traffic, a lot of web traffic, because everybody's talking about what just happened in the NFL. So the WNBA Commissioner's Cup is going on tonight. So you got a lot of stuff going on, and maybe it's just a hell of a lot of traffic. I don't know. So I'm still working, so I'm not complaining. I'm good to go. Yo, I got a post today. Somebody on Twitter was asking what he should do with what he should do with his number 11 jersey. I was like, keep that thing. That dude helped us get a chip. You can wear that with some pride. If you can wear a TO jersey still, why the hell can't you wear AJ Brown even after he's gone? Yeah, don't do nothing with that. You good. Keep that. What's up, Art?
Coach, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Talk to me. What's good with you?
Man, not much. I just got a couple things, and I always love to jump on with you when
What's
I
up?
can. Number one thing that pissed me off first thing in the day was the Myles Garrett thing. I mean, it was a little expensive. I get that, but
No, that wasn't a little expensive at all. That was a
yeah.
lot of expensive.
But I mean, you got to look at the caliber of player, Coach. You'll never be able to get that kind of player in the draft.
No.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. But my point is that there's a reason they spent what they spent to get him, and they gave away a great young player.
Verse is fantastic. Yeah, I mean, he's
Yeah,
great.
and that just lets you know how good Myles Garrett is.
Yeah, of course.
So
But yeah, but that's the thing. Had he not gone to the Rams, I think because they're our main competitor right now. You know that, coach. If we trying to get anywhere for real, like past the first round, I'm not talking about the regular season. I'm talking like NFC Championship, second round. If we want to get anywhere, we'd have to beat these cats. And now they got Miles Garrett on that line.
yeah,
So
that's all right.
you know, so
We'll be just fine as long as we got Lane Johnson over there. If Lane Johnson stays on the field when Myles Garrett comes to town, we'll be okay.
hopefully, because Lane in 24. I mean, he barely missed any. 25, he pretty much missed all of it. I mean, I would say at least half the year he missed. No,
Yep.
yeah, I think it was a little bit more than half. So yeah, it will come down to that because without Lane, the record is crazy. Like it's a
Right.
big difference.
Right. So that's why the most important piece of the Eagles as a team is the health of the offensive line. Cam
Oh,
Jurgens,
that's for sure.
specifically Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
not Landon, but Lane Johnson. Landon Dickerson is important too. I don't want to see no beer from Landon Dickerson in camp.
hell no, man.
That's a bad omen now.
Because I agree with you about your take on KP would either not have been as bad or even hell possibly still here had that O line been a little better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now we still could have had better concepts, passing concepts, but
See, that part can't be denied. Yeah, I mean, when you look at that tape, that shit was terrible. So
it was good, terrible.
it's just that O line, wasn't trying to help nothing out was the issue.
Right.
Anyway,
So,
the second thing I wanted to get into, then the agent thing came around, and then I was like, okay, because remember, Coach, I was expecting at least a first and a second, because Waddle, a player with not even a top 10 player in my opinion at his position, with way further injury concerns and history than AJ Brown has, and AJ Brown has a pretty decent one with hamstrings and knees and stuff. Got a first and a third, and they swapped fourth round picks. So I kind of, the fourth round picks, they just swapped them. We kind of just nullify that. So a first and a third. AJ's a way better player than that. And at the end of the day, everyone just thinks, oh, we had to get rid of him. We really didn't, though. We could have waited this thing out.
Well, after the way everything went down, you had to, because it was clear he wasn't happy. And while I do not believe whatsoever that he was a problem in that locker room going into this year, if he hadn't have been traded, and he would have dealt with it. He would have been a professional to deal with it, but he wouldn't have been happy with it, and he'd have started leaking by the end of some way during the season. What we want to happen is for Sean Mannion to just go off. Like, oh my God, this guy's a genius.
Of course.
And then AJ's like, damn, I should have stayed. Yeah, you should have.
Because, AJ's taking a big risk thinking that rookie quarterback is going to back up that rookie season. Was he a rookie last year, Drake May?
Drake May, was he a rookie?
I think he was a rookie last year. But
I think it might have been his second year.
Because, Coach, if you look at the history of these players, we've seen a lot of these QBs come out first and maybe even a little bit of their second year and be impressive, and then take a massive drop. And then if you look at the Patriots schedule, that thing looks like murderer's row. And on top of that, if you just look at what the Patriots told you by being so adamant about not giving up a 2027 first-round pick, you know why that is most likely? Because they think they're probably going to not have as good of a season, right? Because you're thinking, okay, well, this schedule is looking pretty rough. I'm probably not going to give up this 2027 first-round pick because it's going to be pretty high. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and also you got to remember what they said to us when we lost the Super Bowl? Oh, is so hard to get back. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what all these other teams are. They going to jump back into the playoffs? Are the Seahawks going to jump back into contention? Um, we still have a very wide open window in our Super Bowl era. So Kansas City's getting old. I still
Yeah.
think we are the cream of the crop in the NFC. But it's going to be a little. It'll definitely be a little bit tighter. Washington's a little bit better, but I don't think Washington's better than us
Which I
right
don't
now.
know. I think the Rams done took that title over from us. I mean that thing is on now. I will say on paper it looks like who's going to mess with that. But you never know. You get into the season, Matt Stafford gets injured in the week 2, and then we're
Yeah,
good to go and flying away.
yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just glad we got it done. We got the deal done. We got our first round pick. I don't care if it's 2028. I know Howie will flip them picks, and he'll make chicken salad out of chicken shit. So I'm good. I'm good with what he's doing, man. I have no problem with what he's doing. And we just got to play the waiting game to see what kind of offense we got. So, what's up, Chris?
How you doing,
What's good?
Chris?
What it do, Coach? What's good, bro? You got me, Coach?
I'm good. I got you.
Boy, we all Birds fans, but I hate to be the bearer of bad news. In my opinion,
Be
we
real
didn't
with
get
him, Chris.
we didn't get better today. We did not
Hell
get.
no, man.
Eh,
And my thing is, when I look at kind of what to piggyback on what he said, because I'm like, we're okay. Here's how I look at it: competition is what's most important. We're supposed to be a team competing for a Super Bowl. So we got to look at in our conference who are the top dogs on paper and who we've ran into of late in playoff runs. So Seattle won the conference and the Super Bowl. So you offer respect. You got them. We see what the Rams did today on defense.
yes.
And I'm looking at it and I'm like, so we lost A.J. Brown on offense, an offense that was already subpar passing. And those defenses, Seattle had the best defense last year, and the Rams had a good defense, and they got better at corner and with Myles Garrett. And we've been struggling. So why am I to believe now that we better? Like, in my opinion, like we not. I don't know if we harder to defend now. We probably easier to defend for those teams, unless now we'll see what Mannion come up with. But if I'm keeping it a stack, like, and this is where like I said, I don't think this is a prove it year necessarily, but hey, if Jalen is the elite guy that we want him to be, then he gonna have to elevate a lesser than offensive roster because we don't have the firepower without AJ that maybe the Rams do, or we know what Seattle brings. And then even defending us, it ain't as it's not. I mean, like we know what Devontae do, but outside of him, who's really putting fear in your heart that's a proven guy at the NFL level?
Well, we don't know yet. We haven't been in. We just haven't been in this situation for a while.
Right.
I know Dontavian Wicks can play, but he's got a chip on his shoulder from, I guess, his experience in Green Bay. But my thing is like, I'm looking at watching film. I'm looking at the what the Redskins was, or the Commanders was doing, what the Rams was doing, and what the 49ers was doing, because that's going to be very similar to what Sean Mannion runs.
Right.
I want to see what he's doing with our tight ends. I want to see what Stores might be the unknown quantity in this that just takes over everybody.
True.
Dallas Goedert is slow, and Stowers can run and he can jump. Throw that ball up high, let him go up with two hands.
Maybe.
But we'll see. Let me ask you this: do you think it will be a success if Mekhi Lemon and Dontavian Wicks combine for the same production as AJ was giving you? Would that be a win?
I would say on paper, yeah, but
That's all that matters is on paper.
Well, because we know not all numbers is created equal. Because them two together might get, let's say, if we say, then let's throw it a number 1,300. Let's say them two combined give you 1,300. Their two 1,300, that's not an AJ Brown 1,300. It just won't. It like And that's what I'm saying. Like, numbers sometimes can deceive because not all numbers are created equal. No matter, you said it every game, every week last year, even when we were struggling. AJ Brown is a game plan. Saquon Barkley is a game plan. I don't care what kind of numbers those guys got. Each week, a defensive coordinator has to account for the fact that, you know what, AJ Brown or Saquon Barkley can break this game open at any given moment. And you can't really put a number on that necessarily. Like, you can say, well, if they combine for this and, we can do it by committee, but it comes a point in time where it's like, okay, there's just certain guys where we schemed it up and we was there to defend it, but he was just better. Like 4th and 5 against Washington in the NFC Championship last year, or the dagger play. Those are plays where it's like, yeah, we saw it was a 20-yard catch or whatever, but it's something about the player that makes certain plays that you can't account for. And so I'm like, we got to see what it looked like. But like I said, the numbers could be equal, but it's that fear factor, man, that you can't account for. Because there's guys that put up bigger numbers this year than AJ. But we all know they're probably not better players than AJ was.
It's all about consistency. What did you do last year and the year before that?
Yeah, and so we like you said, we'll see what it looked like. But if I'm going off kind of what I've been seeing now, hopefully, man, you can elevate things. But and this is me being like, I haven't seen the pass game elevate to where I'm like, okay, we're gonna lose a guy like AJ, and we still gonna be all right while these other defenses are getting better. Or at least the defenses that we're gonna have to go through if we're trying to win the Super, because we're a Super Bowl contender. Fair or not, we are in the Super. So meaning, if we don't win the Super Bowl, nothing else matters. Like 13 wins don't matter. The NFC East don't matter. We are trying to win a Super Bowl. And if I look at the teams that are in contention for a Super Bowl, I look at the potential defenses we might have to go through to get to that point. We'll see what Mannion can draw up. But I'm like, are we harder to defend now? I don't think so. I think even within our division, I think the Cowboys and the Commanders, even the Giants, they're like, thank God that good. I'm glad AJ Brown gone. I think that's what they all thinking. Thank God he out there in the East, because they didn't want to see that dude.
Yeah, but you still looking at it from the standpoint of outside looking in. AJ was the number one receiver, so everybody on the outside of Philadelphia thinks it's woe is me, and that's not the case. And let us not forget, and one thing that people have to take in consideration is everybody is under the umbrella of you got to stay healthy.
Correct.
It's not just us.
Right.
Everybody. It's everybody.
Everything we say is assuming they're healthy.
Yeah. Every team is one play away from glory or ruin.
Facts.
Exactly right. Yeah.
So that's the other thing that you really can't control. But for us, I think it all starts and ends with how well our offensive line plays this year, period. If the offensive line plays with Jalen doing a lot more under center, and just how the offense is going to change and the scheme is going to change, I think Jalen's going to throw the ball better than people expect. And because I know this is a prove it year, but I just think Jalen might go over 4K. He might.
That would be very impressive.
And here's my biggest question that I have for Sean Mannion. Are we a running offense or are we a air offense? Which one? Can't do both. Are we going to throw the ball or are we going to try to run the ball?
That's fair. That's fair. And like you said, we'll see. But even some of the other things, like, and I know social media, you always got to take with a grain of salt, but like I was saying this, I dropped it in the chat. Like, I get it. People are disappointed a great player left or maybe didn't want to be there. Mm-hmm. Like all other stuff about the off-field stuff. Listen, and I said this plenty of times, Coach, you played at the highest level. You know this, especially about receivers. They want to play in offenses in which they can make plays consistently. And
Absolutely.
we did not do that. For the last 2 years, we didn't do that. And I don't think what AJ Brown is doing is exclusive to him. I've been saying it. I don't think any top flight guy in the league currently, I don't know what Mannion gonna do, but the previous 2 years of offense that we've played, I don't think any top flight guy would have wanted to play in Philly. That's just the reality of what it is. And so
I mean, that's fair.
you know, and I'm like, I hear all the other like, oh, the cheat. I'm like, listen, you played in plenty of locker rooms, coach. It's been crazy stuff going on for years in locker rooms. But if you producing, ain't nobody gonna bring that up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm here in LA, like Shaq and Kobe didn't always see eye to eye, but guess what? They won 3 championships, didn't they? So
And also you got to remember that Sean Mannion's offense is if it's as good as we hope it is, it's going to cover a lot of warts.
yeah,
It's
So
gonna have to.
it's gonna have to.
It all depends on what it looks like, how we execute.
Yeah. But I feel like now, and I said this, I'm like, and this is just my opinion. I said it. I feel like kind of like when Mahomes lost Tyreek, or you look at some of the other, or what they say about Josh Allen for all these years, where it's like he don't have this stacked receiving core. And I'm like going back to Jalen a little bit, like, yeah, he gonna be living in that world where we got a good receiving core, but you know, it ain't a great one. I wouldn't say it's like this super elite core. We don't have a dynamic duo. We got Devontae, and
I
we got
still
some.
think we do
Yeah.
because Dallas Goddard is always there.
Okay, but the rest after that, I mean, I think it's all right, but we'll see. But it's not.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't think it's like because AJ and Devontae were unquestionably a top 5 duo, no question.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but so we're still solving for X, right? We don't know what the offense is going to look like.
Right.
I trust the fact that, and I've said this before, I need Dontavian Wicks to be a force. He might not like. What's the just in comparison? What is how many yards? How many receiving yards does Dontavian Wicks have to get to not be considered a failure?
Wow.
Does he have to get over
That's
1,000?
tough.
In my opinion, I don't think. Well, one, is he going to be considered wide receiver 2, 3, or 4? Like that's my thing. Like with him,
Who?
Dontavian. I think
Probably
he's 3.
2, man.
He's number 2.
Yeah.
I think he
I
might
don't
be.
know. Hey, we took a kid in the first. We took a kid in the first one. So I'm like, all right, big dog. Like I don't
He
know. I mean,
playing in the slot.
Yeah, he playing in
he
the
is.
slot. Man.
But I think as far as the number, like you said, maybe it's 700-800. It may be closer. I don't know. I think, like you said, we got to see what it looked like.
Right.
But to me, it's like when teams take away Devontae, who's going to be that, or try to take away Devontae, or double him up, or roll coverage his way? Who's going to be that guy opposite that's going to put fear in people?
It's got to be either Lemon or Wicks.
And that's
Or
that.
Hollywood. Could be Hollywood.
It could be
It
Hollywood.
Could be. And if our offensive line is blocking the way they should,
That'll help. That'll help. But I think now, and this is my opinion. Like I said, I feel like Jalen is going to be living in the reality that a lot of what they say about the other quarterbacks, he don't got the super team. Well, you better deliver. Like you got to deliver now. That's just what it's going to be. We don't have the dynamic duo no more at receiver. So we going to probably ask a little bit more from you on a consistent basis. So
yeah, but we can develop that because I think we had a good draft, and I think we had a even better draft on defense. So
wouldn't y'all agree, even if this whole thing with AJ didn't go down and he was just like, I love the Eagles, I love winning Super Bowls, and let's keep going, wouldn't this be his final year anyway?
I don't know. Maybe not, depending on how it looked. I think that might have played a role. I mean, coaches know the business better than I do for sure.
Yeah,
but
it all depends on what they wanted to do.
Maybe
they can renegotiate it.
Remember, Coach, they're trying to shift that money to the defense now.
Yeah.
Well, they should, but
I think so.
You know, don't forget what happened to C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Darius Slay.
Yeah.
They were coming off of good years and they were expecting one thing and they got something else.
Completely.
They let them walk for pennies, Coach. They don't care.
Yeah, that's it. Could have been, it could have went either way. Like you said, it could have been a thing where if he had another year, maybe next offseason we would have been talking about the thing. But I mean, like you said, the reality, Coach, sometimes we got to realize this: not every great player retires for the team you like. It happens like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sometimes they get traded, they move on in free agency. So it is what it is. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is how maybe some Giants felt when Saquon came to us. It is what
Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
and
just
the one thing I'll say about Devontae Smith, Devontae Smith has been doing this since high school.
Oh yeah.
He's been doubted. Come on. Ain't no way he gonna start varsity at 150 pounds. Ain't no way he gonna start for Alabama at 160 pounds.
Yep.
Ain't no way he gonna get drafted that size. Ain't no way he can win the Heisman at that. So he's used to hearing that.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that I need Dontavian Wicks and Mekhi Lemon to do is every now and then you got to beat your man. That's it.
Yeah. And hopefully they do. Like I said, I don't have no doubts about Smitty.
No.
Same way I don't have no doubts about.
But it's fair to say that they probably gonna roll coverage over to his side.
Yeah, I mean, it would
He's
just be
been at 4, so it's not like this is like his first time being number 1.
Right.
And I think he had over 1,000 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
I think his rookie year he was like at 960. He was pretty close. But
Yeah.
you know, but now he's gonna be a number 1 on a team that's expected to be a legitimate playoff contender, at least in Philly. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what nationally they might say, but whatever. But I think Devontae, like I said, Devontae, Saquon, they'll be fine. But the thing I'm just like looking at them is like they're still somewhat dependent on others doing certain jobs for them to thrive. And I'm like, whether it's the blocking for Saquon or what the passing game looked like for Devontae to get his, I'm like, based on what I've seen, I gotta see it to believe it, man. I ain't seen nothing for me to be like, well, we just gonna be, addition by subtraction and this and that. I'm like, the only top flight quarterback I've seen recently lose a top flight guy and win the Super Bowl is Pat Mahomes, and we know what kind of level he's on, and so
right,
see what it looked like. But the defense is gonna be the defense. I don't even have nothing to say about them. We already know
defense actually got better. So
the defense is gonna be. But as we saw
last defense is back. As far as the offense goes, we're gonna ride or die with our offensive line.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I think it's got
absolutely. The offensive line is Cam Jurgens is the most important on the field. He's the most important player on the field. Period. And I'm saying that because I saw what happens when he's not blocking.
Yeah.
I saw what happened when the nose technique doesn't even touch him.
It's one of them things where, in my opinion, like everybody, this is just me personally, nobody else. I feel like it's that time where we talk this elite stuff for Jalen. Well, it's time now. It's time to elevate a team that's good, but ain't considered super or great. It's time to do what they say these other guys do that he can't. That's just my opinion.
Well, I think again, I think Sean Mannion
will play a role for sure.
I think Sean Mannion, if we all think what he's going to do what he says he can do, I think mid-season everybody's going to be looking at Sean Mannion like, or I should say, looking at Sirianni like, bruh, what was you thinking with Patullo when you had,
man,
it's gonna come a couple situations where you're gonna be like, what was Patullo thinking?
For real? Oh,
he should have been thinking right.
Oh yeah, because you already said it, Coach. As much as obviously the standard, I'm putting the bar high. You said it many times, and I agree. Like it's not gonna be that much harder to be better than last year's offense. I mean, it ain't that much harder. It was anemic. It's just the fact that, and you posted this video, and I firmly agree with it. Is that is for all the people that do get on AJ, what was the source and the reason for why he was disgruntled in the first place? That's the part that I think those people ain't focused enough about. Like, if we can complain about the offense, what do you think he probably felt? You know what I'm saying? And so that's just the nature of, how it go. But like you say, we'll see. We'll see how it go next year. But today, in my opinion, is not the best day or one of the better days as an Eagle. Remember, I can tell you that. We ain't get better today. I don't care what nobody tells me. We ain't get better.
We'd be all right.
Hey, we got less headaches today, but we ain't damn better. That's for sure.
Hey, sure. You know what? If that's a headache, give me another headache. I'll take more of them. Hey, Coach, if that's a headache, I'll take some Tylenol PM. I'll be all right.
So let me ask you this: if we didn't get better, did we get worse?
On offense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say worse, Coach. Yeah.
You think so?
Worse. Coach, we don't have a good track record with number 3 receivers and
we don't
cats that aren't cats that are foreign to Jalen.
See, here's what you got to do. You got to take out, you gotta get rid of what you used to think because you're looking at a whole new offense.
But here's the thing, Coach. I agree, but I haven't seen that offense. Hey,
Correct.
we're
We're waiting
saying
to
that
see.
we're saying
We
that
are
it could be
all
better.
hoping that Sean Mannion is as smart as we think he is.
Correct.
But I don't have any reason to think that this is a ruse or think that he slipped through the systems. I think
But
he's as bright as everybody thinks.
Yeah.
I know that Howie and Jeff Lurie do their homework. So when they decided on him, good. They didn't want to let him walk out the door. Now, mind you, this is probably after a couple other interviews for the people that they really wanted. But I think we got a diamond in the rough. And we just gotta stick with it and roll with it. I think he'll be just fine. I think he's better than um, a lot of other people. That's just a guy.
yeah,
That to me, that's what it comes down to is Dontavian Wicks and just Dontavian Wicks. Is he just a guy? Everybody, and I hate getting too excited about what I see with the B-roll footage from OTAs and stuff like that. I don't want to see nobody. You can't claim that somebody's the best thing since sliced bread if all they doing is running drills.
facts.
Like you can't do that. Now, the things that I do look for, I really like to see Rick Woolen. He's big, he's long, he got that wingspan, and he runs a 4.2.
Shit.
That's the stuff that I want to see. I want to see what Darius Cooper's going to do now that somebody's coming for your job. Mekhi Lemon ain't going nowhere. So what are you going to do as an undrafted to continue to stand out?
Here's what, because I agree with what you're saying. Here's what I was going to say to kind of piggyback off what you said when you were asking, did we get worse or better? And then we haven't seen this offense. We haven't seen what this offense is going to look like. But here's what I will say. I look at, if we take a little walk past memory lane, how did we get to this point? When we first had Kellen Moore, because this is all, to me, originates going back to when Kellen Moore was here. We had that first 4 games in 24 where we were 2-2. And the offensive line went in the bye week to Kellen Moore and Snick and say, yo, we got to start running this ball.
Start running the ball.
One of the reasons that they said that, and I believe, is because they said Jalen was turning the ball over too much. That was the concern. So that's where the whole risk-averse approach started, because Nick was under fire because he was like, I'm about to lose my job. And the offense, where it was the running game was good, but we didn't want to keep doing it because Kellen Moore maybe wanted to throw the ball. So we scaled it back and said, okay, let's start running this rock more. Let's ride Saquon all the way to the Super Bowl. And, our defense is terrific, and we make a play or two in the pass game. And that carried over into this previous year where now the offensive line regressed. So we couldn't have the explosive run game, but the pass game still didn't get better. And so now, in my opinion, when I say worse, it's not so much that we don't know what the offensive system is going to be. But my only thing is based on what I've seen. I have not seen this pass game with top-notch receivers be able to consistently week in and week out carry this football team. So now we lose a top flight guy, and maybe the offense is more. I don't know. We don't know. Maybe it is better in some ways, but we still haven't seen. I'm only going off what I've seen, is what I'm saying. I haven't seen.
But you can't. I mean, well, you can. But my point is that even when you think it should be a certain way, even you're gonna look at a bunch of teams that got what they feel is the best draft or the best class or the best whatever. And they still in Cancun at the end of the season.
Correct.
So it doesn't, regardless of what people think, I think our success or failure is going to come down to what are we going to do with the tight ends?
That's true. It is true.
Because I still say that I know Mannion and Jalen Hurts is in the lab all the time.
I ask you this. I got a quick. I ask you this. I want you. When you say better or the better worse, I ask you like this, and we don't know for sure because maybe this is the part that you say we'll see how Mannion schemes it up. Do you think the Eagles are harder or easier to defend right now?
Harder.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
There's an argument for both sides.
AJ, we're harder to defend.
Because think of And let's take the last sample size. Let's take the last sample, right? AJ Brown is considered a threat, but was he a threat?
Not the way we was using them, but
We couldn't run the ball. Now we'll be able to run the ball.
but even when we do run the ball, he wasn't a threat.
Yeah, but my point is everything has to work together. Everything has to work together. The whole situation, just like when I talked about if the offensive line would have been able to block, Kevin Patullo keeps his job.
I
The
agree.
reason why he keeps his job is because a good running game covers a lot of warts.
Yeah.
And I think the bar is so low for our running game. Saquon is going to be back above 4 yards a carry. I believe that. Especially if we run in zone reads. We got a whole new, number one, we're running a whole new philosophy on offense, whole new scheme, which means nobody's got us on tape yet. They got San Francisco, they got Green Bay, they got a little bit of Miami.
Mhm.
But they don't have the Eagles doing what Sean Mannion wants to do. So they haven't seen it yet. So they don't know what to expect. So that's one advantage. Number two, our offensive line is healthy. How long they stay healthy, that's another story. But right now they're healthy. So the reason with us not being able to run the ball, right? This is the domino effect. If you can't run the ball, you can't play action. If you can't play action, you can't influence the linebackers. If you can't influence the linebackers, they can tee off and force you to do something else because they know you can't run. If you can't influence the linebackers, you can't influence the free and the strong safety. If you're not influencing the strong safety, that means they can roll coverage over to Devontae Smith. And he's going to have more trouble getting open because there's always going to be somebody else over there. So everything has to work together. That whole thing I just explained goes all the way back around to the other side to Dontavian Wicks.
Right.
That's what I mean. I need Dontavian Wicks to be a threat. He don't have to be 1,000-yard rusher. He don't have to be AJ Brown. They just have to know that you are a competent wide receiver and that I can burn you over there.
Okay, but
you ain't got to look at me like AJ, but I can burn you. That's all they need to where they have to say, you know what? All right, we can't do this all the time. We gonna double team Devontae some of the time, not all the time. And every time they do that, either Mekhi Lemon, either Dallas Goedert, or Dontavian Wicks, they're gonna have to burn somebody on the other side.
Okay.
That's gonna come back into what's going on with Sean Mannion, and more importantly, back to the main point, the running game.
No, I'm fully with you, and I agree. If you look at any NFL team from now throughout the history, a perfect team for that comparison I would be, even though they ain't won nothing, the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions probably got one of the best. They got the two-head monster in the backfield, and they got the running. I mean, they got the play action. When Jared Goff get going, he throwing that ball to Amon-Ra. He throwing that ball to Jameson Williams. But here's my only thing. We did have a dynamic run game, and we still didn't throw the ball well. That's my only thing. Like, you're right. I agree with typically a better run game leads to a better pass game because you can influence them. I agree. I'm just saying we didn't do that. Even we had not just a good running game, we had one of the greatest running games of all time, and we still didn't throw the ball even at a decent rate.
Yeah,
that's
but that
my
was
only thing.
That was the year before.
But I know, but I'm saying when we say that the running game and the offensive line, how it influences the linebackers and gets the pass game going, I'm like, I agree. But even when we have with this core, with Saquon and Jalen and this offensive line, this past year, the offensive line gave us a bad year. But the year before, they gave us an all-time year, and we still didn't throw the ball well. So even if we run the ball better next year, why am I to believe that the pass game is going to be better? Based on what?
That's the way that's the wait and see part. That's the solving for X, because we don't know what Sean Mannion is going to do.
Correct. I agree.
I would like to think that Sean Mannion is going to use our tight ends better than Kevin Patullo.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to think that running the ball under center a lot more is going to help Jalen, and that's going to help Saquon, because now we're going to have a lot more bootlegs, reverse outs, and if you zone reading, that means you're stretching the defense out.
Yeah.
That means the and you guys have heard me say this before. The reason why I like zone read so much is because one of the biggest things that you got to do in the zone read is you need to get the ball into the hands of your running back as deep as humanly possible.
Right.
So if you are a quarterback, when you go back and you put your hand out to give the ball, see ball, get ball.
Mm-hmm.
Go back and watch them games we used to play Dallas when Dallas still had Zeke. They
Oh
used
man,
to kill us with that, with the play
They
action.
used to-
They used
man,
to
they-
run. They used to run a
that
like a
stretch
power
plays.
off tackle to the right.
Yeah.
It was a bootleg. The tight end would stay tight to the line of scrimmage and drift. And they used to kill us with that. They used to fake it to Zeke and dump it to the tight end. It was a 5-yard pass, but that tight end would end up getting 15, 20 yards almost every play
Yeah.
because of the influence of seeing that ball out, giving the ball deep. It forces the linebackers to have to move. That is the most important thing, because what happens if they give the ball to Saquon, and what happens if Saquon gets to the second level?
Oh, it's over.
But think of it strategically.
Oh, okay.
If he gets past the linebackers, who's your next line of defense?
Safeties.
Correct. So that means that's what I talk about when I'm saying you got to influence the safety. So if you have a running game, here come your linebackers. You got to get them to step up. 1 step equals 3 yards of space in real time in game speed.
Mm-hmm.
And all you need, the same rules apply to the safeties, because now what happens if Saquon gets to the second level? Safety's got you the emergency exit.
Yeah, he ain't taking Saquon in the open
Right.
field.
So ultimately, you forcing the defense, you got to make a choice. I use this example all of the time in the Super Bowl. They made a choice. Kansas City made the choice. The choice was, we are going to stop Saquon, and we are going to make Jalen beat us in the air. And that's exactly what happened. You made your choice. The problem was, we got that. We had the 4-headed dragon, and everybody got a piece. Jalen scored. Devontae's had the dagger. Dallas Goedert had a good play. AJ Brown went across the middle and caught the touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jalen ran on them, scrambling for first down, so they made the wrong decision. But it wouldn't have mattered, because any decision that they would have tried to make would have been wrong. If they get Devontae, Saquon going off. If they go Saquon, maybe Jalen runs a little bit more. Maybe Dallas gets a couple more targets. And that's the thing. And the only thing we're missing now instead of a 4-headed monster, we only got a 3-headed monster. But a 3-headed monster can kill you just the same, because you still got to come up with a game plan. You still only have a X amount of people on the field.
Right.
You only got 4 DBs back there, 5 if you're playing nickel.
Right. And to piggyback on that, because you're right. But the one thing, and I heard this, and I think I heard this from Steve Spagnuolo. He said that the guy, because we've seen the Chiefs twice in the Super Bowl, for him, the guy that they didn't want to let loose was AJ. I think Spagnuolo said that a couple of times. AJ was the guy that they were like, we can't let him get. Obviously, the second Super Bowl, they defended us. We had Saquon going crazy, but I think Spagnuolo said AJ was the guy that he was like, we can't let him take this game over. And so that was that.
But if you look at the first Super Bowl, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jalen threw for what, 314 that first Super Bowl?
The first, yeah, somewhere up in there. He's like 300.
Yeah, like he went off.
Something. Yeah, somewhere.
And didn't AJ have 2 touchdowns that game?
He had 1, but he had like damn near. He had like 90 yards, 6 catches, somewhere up in there. You
got to make a decision. And if depending on what decision you make, somebody else is open. if you double team Devontae, that means in my opinion, if you double team Devontae, and this is strictly on receivers, who's the next best option in your opinion?
I don't know.
Dallas.
Dallas Goddard, in my opinion.
Thank you. It's got to be Dallas.
I was thinking purely receivers. If we include
Right.
Dallas here, Dallas. It's Dallas Goddard.
So let's put a pin in that. So Devontae is your number one option.
Correct.
We don't know what we got with Dontavian Wicks yet. So he's still kind of just out there in the ethos. He in the oven cooking. We don't know if he's done yet. Right?
Yeah.
So now your obvious next option is Dallas Goedert because he's proven.
Right.
But the addendum to that is Sean Mannion likes to run a 2 tight set, 12 formations,
Mm-hmm.
1 back, 2 tight ends. Right?
Yeah.
So what is he going to do with both tight ends? That's a mismatch somewhere.
Yep.
So that didn't happen last year. We got Stowers, who was arguably the best tight end in college football, and we got Dallas Goedert. Right? That's a mismatch waiting to happen. Stowers runs what? A 4-5-1 or whatever it was?
Yeah. Somewhere up in there.
He's what? 6'4", 6'5"?
Yeah.
So we got that. We have the advantage in the matchups. Just right there. Now I don't know how good Stowers is going to be. I know what Dallas Goedert is.
Oh, yeah,
and at least Dallas Goedert is going to force them to think. All right.
Absolutely.
Because the one good thing about Dallas is he don't lost a lot of speed. But he's smart enough to get open.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And I believe Sean Mannion is smart enough to scheme him open. And if he's smart enough to scheme slow ass Dallas Goedert open, he can scheme fast ass Eli Stowers and Mekhi Lemon and Dontavian Wicks.
Yeah, no, I'm with that. With that.
I just think that we have the advantage because teams have not seen what we're about to do. We're not on tape yet. So we have that advantage. You lose that real quick, but people are going to scout us for the first couple of games. People got to go watch teams of other teams. They can't watch the Eagles unless they scouting us on defense. Offense, you got a whole nother problem. And that was our advantage.
I agree. Now let me ask you this then, because this is pure hypothetical. If Sean Mannion is that good at scheming, this is pure hypothetical, and I'm saying that we didn't get better, what do you think he could have schemed for A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith with Dallas Goedert?
Well, number one, we might be doing some other things from under center. That kind of leads into, well, why didn't we run a lot of motion for the defense? The reason why we didn't run a lot of motion, if you go back and you look at a lot of the games, we getting the snap in with 3 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, what was that about?
Because they were having a problem getting the play in. To me, that tells me they going through all of their notes trying to figure out what they want to call. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking. So they get the play in right before Jalen's radio goes out in his helmet. Now you get on the line. It's 8 seconds left by the time you get on the line. Now you're reading the defense. Now it's 5 seconds left. If you have to adjust, it has to be a shift. It can't be in motion. The reason why we didn't run a lot of motion is because for whatever reason, it was taking us a long time to get to the line of scrimmage. And people forget this. If you go in motion, the quarterback has to have enough time to read the defense.
Yeah.
Because if he moves and they shift, if they shift over, it's man. If they drop back in coverage, it's probably zone. But they can't fool you.
They absolutely. Well, Vic Fangio does that to everybody. He be
exactly
the pre-snap, post-snap looks he be giving quarterbacks is always different.
So the way that our offense was communicating, running, getting plays in and stuff like that, running, putting guys in motion was not going to work.
And to add to that, the other part, not only do Jalen got to be ready, I believe when the receiver goes in motion, he got to get set too, because he can't just go straight from motion into a route, because that happened against I believe it was week 5 against Denver. Devontae, I believe, caught a 4th down, but they took it back because he was still moving on the motion.
Right.
And so everybody got to get set, the quarterback and the receiver in motion, and you got to make sure nobody's on the line and blocking or covering up the tight end or something like that.
And you know what one of the hardest things to do is when somebody goes in motion?
What's that?
Blitz pickup.
Oh, yeah.
Because what happens if you go in motion and let's say instead of them shifting over, what happens if a safety comes down? So now you got a safety up man to man, and now they are overloaded on one side. Now what do? Who's the hot route? Does anybody look like they coming? That's when you get stuff like that, and the linebackers are playing on the line of scrimmage. Now the offense, the quarterback's got to figure all of that stuff out, and now he's got even less time because the guy came in motion.
I think that's one thing. I think whether it's Jalen, I give him. I do think the blitz pickup has gotten better in the past couple of years compared to where it was, like obviously at the end of 23, because it was brutal. I can't recall maybe blitz pickup on passing downs really being as bad of a problem the past few years. It's been the other stuff, but I think blitz pickup has been a lot better from what I can remember. The run blocking has been terrible. Was terrible this past year, but the blitz pickups, from what I can remember, it wasn't as bad as it's been in previous years. I think that's where Jalen and his,
Let me say this.
coming from got better.
Dallas Goedert, Grant Calcaterra, and Granson were horrible blockers. Horrible.
Run block
Dallas Goedert.
Overall.
He was a horrible blocker.
Oh yeah.
Goal line. I hated that. You can look at his stance and I'm like, bro, you about to get you. No.
Hey, Coach, I'm so glad you said that because I agree. Again, I agree with damn near everything you say. But this is, and he gone, but to kill this narrative, the narrative that AJ was a poor blocker, not saying he was good, but he wasn't the only skill player that was poor at blocking. They all were.
Yeah, they all. I thought AJ did a good enough job blocking. All you got to do is get in front of somebody.
Right. But because you were by far the best in terms of the in-depth break. Because most Eagles people weren't even breaking down tape; they were just spewing narratives. You showed countless times this year where it was times AJ wasn't even involved in the play, and Saquon got to make a spin move just to get back to the line of scrimmage because Granson missing the block or Dallas is missing the block, and it's like the notion that it was just a particular guy was far from the truth because they all stunk at run blocking. Every one of them, even though, obviously the offensive line, but the skill, Dallas and the tight ends were terrible at run block. Calcaterra, I don't even know why they had him on on rundowns for real. Like, it just didn't work. But we will see.
Because now we got Dallas Goedert, Eli Stowers. Is Wilson gonna play tight end, or I don't know what they're gonna do with him, but I think he's still too talented for them to just give up on him. They got some decisions to make, and we're in a good situation that those are the decisions that we are making.
Yeah,
it could be a lot worse. So I'm very positive on what Sean Mannion is going to do. I've said this a million times. I think Sean Mannion and Jalen Hurts speak the same language.
Yep.
Very similar to what a lot of people forget to Kellen Moore. He had been out of the league 7 years.
Somewhere up in there. I think 2019.
Yeah, he was a QB
playing year, and then he took
when you a QB and you've been under center, man, you can speak that language. You can speak that language.
But I've even heard you say Kellen didn't necessarily have us throwing it all over the place. But hey, when you got 2,000 yards in the backfield, I guess everything tends to work out a little bit better. So
my prediction is Sean Mannion, regardless of what we look like on offense, Sean Mannion is going to have people questioning why we ever went with Kevin Patullo.
Yeah, I think that'll be pretty easy to do because Patullo was down inept and everything around inept. But we'll see. But yeah, just to wrap it up, because like I said, the Eagles have made me smile a lot of days. Today is not one of them.
You'll be all right.
We'll be all right. Go Birds.
Go Birds, man. Yeah, we'll be good. It'll all it'll all come together. There's some things that we got to learn. There's some things that they got to learn, but it'll be fine. I have no, and I can't give you any logical explanation why I think that, other than the fact that I just trust that Sean Mannion knows what the hell he's doing, as opposed to what it looked like last year. Because I don't want to get into what I thought Kevin Patullo was capable of. And I say this, there's a reason why he got hired. There's a reason why he got the job. You can say it was because Sirianni was his boy and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you still have to be somewhat competent to get the interview, to get to where he was. Just being whatever he was doing for the offense as a coach. And to be able to take that step up, you got to know something. You have to know something. But it just didn't manifest. Didn't manifest. So, but all right, man, I'm going to land this plane. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Click on that notification bell. And if you are on mobile, please hype this video up. I would definitely appreciate it. I appreciate all the new members of the squad, all my veterans, all my rooks. Appreciate everybody. It's going to be a lot of talk coming this weekend. We got more NFL news. There's going to be some more trades. You got WNBA stuff happening. The Commissioner's Cup is happening. You got World Cup coming up. I definitely got to get me some World Cup stuff going. So it's gonna be a lot of stuff on the plate, man. A lot of stuff on the plate. And my goal is, I know me and Tone will be on the Bald Eagles podcast tomorrow night at 8:30. And then I will be back on Wednesday, and hopefully by Wednesday I will have my remixed theme song ready to go, ready to show you. So we doing work. So I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. I would appreciate it. Tell your friends about me. Send it to your friends, family, coworkers, and your play cousins, so we can keep it growing. So we had a good crowd tonight, man. Glad everybody could come on the mic. I like to have a conversation, not just a monologue. We're gonna keep it going. AJ Brown is gone. Good. I don't want to say good riddance, man. All I'm saying is peace be on to you, bro. Appreciate everything you did. Thank you for your contribution on us getting a chip. That's what I would like to leave it with AJ Brown. So I'm gonna get up out of here. Y'all have a good night. And I will see y'all in the next one. And as usual, go Birds.
Yo, 2026 and the link is feeling cold. Stories of a super runner getting kinda old. Jalen under fire, say his vision's getting tight. Calling him uncoachable every single night. AJ in the trade, got me in my feels. Mr. Hollywood is the brownest on the field. Man, he ain't calling plays, I'll be searching for the spark. Eagles flying solo, hunting shadows in the dark. Crable and Rossini trying to launch a master plan. Ever since the photos got you sitting with the fans. Draft day approaching, how we sitting on this perch. Gotta fill some holes, so you know he's on the search. 10 toes down with the Eagles on the scene. Watching out for Cap, cause your boy is bleeding green. Searching through the trending topics, info moving slow. Pro fan talk, always keep you in the know. Pro fan talk. Hit the bell, that's law. Break it down from the film to the box score raw. Pro fan talk. Where the real ones bar. From the birds to the league, we gon' cover it all. Pro fan talk. Hit the bell, that's law. Break it down from the film to the box score raw. Fan talk. Where the real ones bar. From the birds to the league, we gon' cover it all.